What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So in today's video, as you can see from the thumbnail and the title of this video, of course the KSI versus Logan Paul, the rematch number 2 is happening, finally happening. Pretty much the last fight ended in a majority draw. Both fighters were shocked, both fighters thought that one of them had won, but no, majority draw. The rematch is happening finally. I think, most people thought this fight was not going to be happening this year. It just got to, well, they had a contract agreed, and in the contract they agreed to do the rematch this year in February, but because of Logan's team, they didn't know how to find a venue or anything like that. It just looked like that it wasn't going to happen this year. But then when it came to September, Eddie Hearn then announced the fight is on, the rematch is happening. I can't believe it, this fight is happening once again. I'm looking forward to it once again. I think we've got to start from last year, really. So obviously last year, I think August 25th, like KSI versus Logan Paul happened. It ended in a majority draw. I was shocked myself personally. I think KSI won. Obviously, I was backing for KSI to win. Obviously, I am backing him to win once again. But since after the fight, say, I think 2 weeks later or something like that, well, Logan had a bit of a break from everything, and then he sort of got back to LA, and then he's just been non-stop training. Been seeing it on his channel, just non-stop training. And that's why everyone just thought, coming into this fight, Logan's going to win. I don't think it's about who's been non-stop training. He's approaching this fight differently now, mentally as well. Logan really struggled physically in the last fight, because you could tell by looking at him, and I written down some notes from that last fight. I literally broke Logan down, so I'll get into that in a little bit as well in this video. Sort of like last year after the fight, Logan has just been non-stop training, not with a trainer or anything like that, sparring and just trying to get himself in shape and in the best possible shape he could be in. And then KSI, on the other hand, took a lot of time off. KSI, he was, wanted to focus on his career. He had a music tour with Randolph, and then everyone was criticising him because he put on weight. I think he went from, from 85 kilos to about 100 kilos. So he put on a lot of weight. So everyone was criticising him for that. And then he started cutting down on his weight, because then when they announced this fight, he started to lose weight. Like I said, the rematch was supposed to be on February this year, but Logan's team failed to find a venue. KSI made a video on this, and he said, the best time to do this fight would be in November. KSI was right. The fight is happening in November as well. So since then, everyone just thought the fight wasn't going to happen this year. KSI made a video, he said this. He said he knew straight away himself that the fight wasn't going to happen in February, because obviously Logan's team was supposed to find a venue. They didn't, obviously. KSI made a video about it, and he said the best time to do this fight is in November. The fight is happening in November, like I just said then. Sorry if I did repeat myself there. When he brought out that video, everyone just thought, the fight wasn't going to happen this year. It got to March, it got to April, it got to May, it got to June, July, August, still nothing whatsoever. And then in September, Eddie Hearn, if you guys don't know him, announced the fight is happening. I think he announced it on the 4th of September, I looked at the date. Then obviously when Eddie Hearn announced it on his Instagram, his Twitter, all the social platforms and stuff like that, obviously he got criticised. You can obviously understand why, because obviously both of these guys do YouTube and stuff like that. People are saying it's embarrassing and stuff like that, but you can understand the criticism that he got. The reason why this fight is happening is to attract new fans to boxing, and that's why they've got a mega undercard. They've got Billy Joe Saunders on the undercard, Devin Haney on the undercard as well. I think the undercard's going to be fascinating to watch and interesting to watch. Eddie Hearn got in a meeting with KSI's people, Logan's people, and he sat down with them and he said, right, I've got rules, and those rules are, you've got to turn professional. That means also no head guards. Both of these fighters last time around didn't want any head guards because they were worried about the safety. They had to have head guards. So both of these fighters didn't want head guards in the first fight. No head guards whatsoever. So in the last fight, it was 12-ounce gloves. This time it's 10-ounce gloves. And according to Eddie Hearn, he said someone is getting knocked the fuck out. You never know. I think someone will probably get knocked out. My first question is, why did Eddie Hearn promote this fight? Now, Apparently, they asked Eddie Hearn to promote this fight last time, and he was like, bloody hell, you must be joking, what the hell is this crap? I'm not doing this, it's a load of bollocks. But then he realised how much these fighters did, they sold out the arena, the Manchester Arena. They got the fight on pay-per-view as well. I don't know how many people watched it online. There was a lot of people online that watched it as well. So he was really surprised. And then again this year, they went to Eddie Hearn to say, do you want to do this fight again? And he thought, why not? Let's make it happen. And he made it happen. Personally, the reason why this fight is happening on my side, I think it's because of Logan's team, they didn't find a venue. And KSI was like, how he was mocking the Americans and stuff like that. We're just chilling on a beach and stuff like that. It's quite funny that. And they didn't give a toss. But I think it's personally because Logan's team just did not find a venue. I think KSI wanted the fight to happen. He's just thought the man to really make this fight happen is Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn stepped up, delivered, the fight's happening. Can't wait for it. Both fighters are fighting at cruiserweight, so that means they have to be at 90 kilograms. So when it comes to weigh-ins, both of these fighters have got to come in at 90 kilograms. Obviously, I think everyone from the UK will know who Eddie Hearn is. If you don't know Eddie Hearn, that's fine. He is a sports promoter. He's a group managing director of Matchroom Sport. Matchroom Sport was founded by his father, Barry Hearn. He's the head of Matchroom Boxing. So practically, Eddie Hearn is paying KSI and Logan for this fight as well. Whoever's going to win this fight is going to be taking a lot of money home, for sure. And then, since then, they had the press conference in LA. I think most of you guys will want my verdict on it. I definitely watched it. My thoughts on the LA press conference, I think it was a bit cringy, to be fair. I think I was more wondering of how Eddie Hearn was feeling because he's never experienced anything like that before, because he's used to sitting down with both fighters. You'll have AJ to his left and probably Andy Ruiz to his right. He's used to those formal interviews. He gets Sky involved, DAZN involved. They do all their promoting thing. I wanted to know how he was feeling because he's never experienced anything like that before. Two people just having a go at each other, just taking the piss out of each other. You don't see that a lot really in the other fights like AJ, Tyson Fury, Andy Ruiz. You don't see that a lot unless they hate each other. I wanted to know how he was feeling, to be fair, because they were just taking the piss out of each other. But to me, it was a bit cringy, just not the best press conference. I think, they were asking questions to both fighters. I think once again, KSI was answering the questions, but Logan wasn't. And that's typical Logan. Obviously, everyone was wondering who won that press conference. It was debatable, actually. It was quite debatable of who won that press conference out of them two. But you would think, because he's at home, you would think he would have done it, but I don't think he won it. It was nowhere near that he won that press conference, Logan, to be fair. Obviously, I will insert a bit of footage.
Let me talk to you then. All right, let me talk to Logan. Hey, Logan, how you doing? Okay. In this fight, you're going to be Kong, and I'm going to be the fucking coyote.
That was fucked up. That was fucked up. You just ruined my day. You just ruined my day.
Good. I'm glad.
That was fucked up, bro.
I'm fucking glad. Good.
That was my dog, bro.
I'm so confident that I could beat your ass.
Hey, that was way
that
fucked
I could
up.
take a picture with Drake, post it on social media, and still win.
Bro, what are you?
Yeah.
You're not funny.
Yep.
Did you write that down? Did you practice that?
My man,
what the fuck?
My man came
you think
through.
Drake would take a picture of you?
It was a cringe press conference, to be fair. Not the best, not the worst press conference. It was in the middle. That's what I thought of it. And then obviously you've got Vidal Riley. He turned to Shannon the Cannon Briggs, who's training Logan Paul, and he said, "You've not been irrelevant for 5 years." I really love that. And then there's obviously been a lot of speculation of Vidal Riley fighting Shannon Briggs. That's not happening, just to let you know. That's not happening because Vidal Riley is signed with Mayweather Promotions and he's fighting in December. So no, that fight's not happening. If you're wondering, it's not happening. So that's the LA press conference out of the way. And then I think you would be thinking, when's the UK one and stuff like that. Then KSI put a tweet out saying the UK press conference wasn't going to happen. Eddie Hearn stepped up once again and he delivered, and then a UK press conference happened. What were my thoughts on the UK press conference? I think it was a better press conference, firstly. A lot more better. They got True Geordie up there asking the questions. True Geordie was the one who was doing the press conference last time, so then they got him back up on the stage. He was interviewing both of these fighters. And finally, Logan could open his mouth this time. He didn't walk off like a baby, didn't cry about it. He finally opened his mouth, finally got to say some shit for once. Yet again, they asked the questions, KSI answered them. Logan didn't answer the questions properly once again. Logan didn't want to sit down, and I can sense it that he's nervous. He is nervous. He's nervous, and you can see it in his eyes, to be fair. He's nervous for the fight. Obviously, he is going to say he can't wait, but he's nervous. He's nervous. I know he is. And I want Logan to lose so badly of what happened, what he did in Japan. I just want him to lose so badly. You know, I hope KSI really knocks this guy out as well, because I hate him after what he did in Japan. I really hope KSI does him. But anyway, I'll insert a bit of footage.
With three wins in your life, with only fighting 3 times as a professional, I don't care, man, you could get naked, mother. Listen, only fighting 3 times in your life. How?
5 years.
In your life do you think
Even
you can
the
stand up
coaches
to
are
me?
getting in on it. Jesus. Question for Vital.
How?
What is the improvements that you've seen in JJ since that last fight?
Improvements? Are you a boxing coach or are you a rapper?
I'll wait till Logan's done. I'll wait
Do you
till
make
Logan's
YouTube
done.
Right,
videos?
first question. Vital.
I'll wait till Logan's
No,
done.
wait,
I'll
what do you
till-
do?
Let him finish. Let him finish.
I just want to know what you do. I saw you drop the song.
When you're done, I'll talk.
It was trash.
I mean, I'm just curious. Do you
Everyone,
rap?
tell him shut up. Tell him shut up.
Hey, but my question to you is.
Can I talk now?
My
Are
question
you ready
to
to
you
let me
is,
talk?
Yo, if you haven't been relevant, you never been relevant, bro. You're not relevant now.
If you Google Shannon Briggs, my name comes up. Understand that? If you Google Shannon
he on
Briggs,
crack?
Vidal Riley
Yo,
comes up.
if
Who's
that's-
relevant?
Yo, is he smoking crack? This man is a nobody. He can't even fight.
Shannon
You
Briggs,
know what?
Vidal
If
Riley,
Shannon
undercard.
Briggs, if Shannon Briggs can pass a drugs test, I'll fight him.
This man is a nobody. He's trying to get famous off me. But the good news is Logan gonna knock KSI out.
I think it was a better press conference. I can tell that Logan's definitely nervous for this one. Obviously, yet again, I think KSI definitely won this press conference massively. He brought a dog on stage, obviously, to sort of get under his skin. Obviously, everyone heard the news where his dog had, well, I was going to say died, but actually got, literally got done over by a coyote. Who is training KSI? So, as we all know, his trainer, Vidal Riley, he's training him for this one as well. Also, Vidal Riley's trainer, Jeff Mayweather, as well. He's training with the Mayweathers. He's also being trained by Leon Williams, which is strength and coordination. Larry Wade as well. What he did with Sean Porter was unbelievable, to be fair. And I think KSI's got probably the best team around him, to be fair. And it's a possibility that he could win this fight, KSI. Obviously, who is training Logan Paul for this one? It's, of course, Shannon the Cannon Briggs, as we all know. Let's Go Champ. He's training Logan Paul. Also, it's between America versus Great Britain. Who will come out on top? Hopefully, Great Britain. And we have to get behind for KSI to win this fight. So hopefully, KSI can come away with that W. Let's get a bit of a background of these two fighters. So KSI has had 2 amateur fights with 1 win, no losses, and with a 1 draw as an amateur. 1 win by TKO. KSI is 26 years old. His height is 6 foot. His weight is 187 pounds, which is 85 kilograms, but that will be different on fight night because obviously these both fighters are fighting at 90 kilograms at cruiserweight. His reach is 71 inches, which is 180.34 centimeters. Logan, he's had 1 amateur fight. He's not won a fight yet. He's had 0 losses and he's had 1 draw, obviously, from last year. Logan is 24 years old. His height is 6'2". His weight is 189 pounds, which is 86 kilograms. I think that's a bit wrong, to be fair, when I was Googling it. His reach is 75 inches, which is 190.5 centimeters. So he's obviously got that reach difference, Logan, as well. Getting into some unified rules of boxing. Obviously, in this fight, there's going to be no standing 8 count. There's going to be no 3 knockdown rule. Both fighters cannot be saved by the bell in any round. The doctor or the referee can stop the fight. In case of an accidental foul, They will go to the scorecards after round 4. Now, I've taken some notes down from the last fight. So talking about Logan, Logan had a really good first round, to be fair. He was breathing heavily in the second round. Logan was clinching in the third round. Logan was getting tired in the third round as well. Logan was starting to get knackered after the fourth round. Logan was leaning on the ropes after round 5. Logan was clinching as well. Logan literally had nothing left in the tank in round 6. Logan couldn't answer back in round 6 as well. He had a very good jab. Logan threw some very good hooks on KSI. Logan took some big punches from KSI as well. Logan's combinations are very good. Logan's movement is okay, but needs a lot of improvement as well. His work rate was very good, I must not lie. Logan won rounds 1, 2 and 5 in that last fight as well. Moving on to KSI, he was very good at ducking and diving, and also very good at slipping and sliding. He was very good at that as well. He used his jab really well. He stuck behind his jab in the early rounds as well. KSI threw some very good hooks that hurt Logan. He did hurt him as well with those hooks. His combinations were very good. His movement was just unreal. His work rate was unreal. KSI struggled to land punches in round 3 despite he still won the round as well. KSI knew he had to go scrappy if he wanted to win this fight. KSI took some big punches like as if it was nothing. KSI moves inside of Logan because obviously of the reach difference. KSI's fighting back really well in the 6th round. KSI was going for it in the 6th round. KSI was piling that pressure on. He was very aggressive in round 6. KSI landed a few good stiff jabs. Obviously KSI won rounds 3, 4 and 6. If KSI can land the big punches, that can change the whole fight. Honestly, mark my words. If he can land a massive right hook, that will change the whole fight. Honestly, it will. Getting into the training footage of KSI now, I'll insert a bit of footage of that.
Working. You can't give your opponent any time to breathe. So that's pretty much why I'm training this high intensity, so that fatigue wise and stamina wise, I'm A-okay.
Let's go.
His training footage is training at different levels, more going at more of a high intensity. He's training really hard for this fight as well. I saw an interview with, I think, one of the sidemen, and they said he's really determined, dedicated. He wants the filming out of the way so then he can go out and go train as well. So he's really motivated, he's really determined, and he's training a lot more harder as well this time round. I don't know who it was, but one of them said he didn't really train as hard for the Joe fight, didn't really train as hard for the Logan first fight, but now they're saying he's training really hard for this fight. He's more dedicated, he's more determined, he's getting out there, he's training a lot more harder, training at a high intensity. He's training really well at the minute, as I'm hearing. His camp's going very well. Obviously he's got Jeff Mayweather in the corner, Vidal Riley in the corner as well. He's got a fantastic team around him. You never know who's going to come out on top as well. Now, there's not been a lot of footage of Logan training so far. I will be able to find something at the end of the day. I'll insert it right now. Logan's training really hard as well himself. Obviously, Logan's more bigger, he's got more muscle. But the only concern I've got with Logan is because of his muscle that he's got, he's going to really struggle with the oxygen, and he's going to really struggle to maintain that as well. So during the whole fight as well. So he's going to really struggle, I think, in the fight, because obviously he's much more bigger, he's got more muscle on him as well. So he's really going to struggle. He's like someone like Anthony Joshua, really. Right, so getting into my prediction now. But firstly, I just want to say the build up to this fight has just been absolutely unreal to see. You know, the build up has been fantastic. Everyone's been talking about this fight, and I just cannot wait. Anyway, getting into my prediction now. Firstly, I just want to say KSI did not know how Logan boxed last year. Fair play, you know, he didn't know how he boxed. But I think what KSI just wants to do as a KSI fan, and as I'm backing KSI to win, I think all he just wants to do is come out quick, be on the front foot, jab and move, jab and move, jab and move. In the first 2 rounds, just jab and move, you know. You don't want to do anything crazy unless there's something that you've seen in Logan that he's not very good at. KSI, I know what he needs to improve on. He needs to improve on his defence offensively. He's got to be better in his defence, because Logan managed to throw some punches on KSI, but KSI was not that great. His defence wasn't the best, I would say, with Logan, but you can obviously understand that because of his reach. But he offensively needs to be better in his defence. But KSI, like I just said then, he just wants to come out, be on the front foot, move inside of him, jab and move, jab and move, jab and move in the first 2 rounds. Don't try anything crazy, you know, don't do anything stupid. Keep your guard up at all times, defend when you need to defend. And then if you see something in Logan that is, you know, he's not doing, then go for it, you know. I think his corner's going to say, go for it, but his corner's going to have a game plan and the tactics. He's got to stay to his game plan and his tactics. He doesn't want to really go off the tactics. Then I think in the 3rd round, lift the intensity a bit. He wants to throw more combinations at Logan, and then if he can, try and land that big punch that can change the whole fight. If he can land that punch that can change the whole fight in, say, round 3, round 4, he could be out in round 5, Logan. Honestly, he could be. KSI is training a lot more harder now. He's determined, he's motivated, he's really dedicated to this, and he knows he does not want to lose this belt, because obviously he does have a belt as well. He just wants to jab and move in the first 2 rounds. Don't try anything crazy, don't try anything stupid. Stick behind your game plan, stick behind your tactics. Lift it up in the 3rd round, 4th round, and then just have him over and out in the 5th round. Hopefully a knockout for KSI. But like I said, stick to your game plan, stick to your tactics, you know, don't try anything stupid unless if it's necessary, you know. I think maybe what he struggled in last year was offensively his defence. If he can improve his defence, I wouldn't say he doesn't have nothing to worry about, but also if he can just land that big punch on Logan, that will change the whole fight. It will change the whole dynamic of that fight. Because when you land that big punch, it was like with, if you guys remember, if you watched the Anthony Joshua Andy Ruiz fight, Andy Ruiz managed to land that big punch with a punch to the back of the head, and that changed the whole fight for Andy Ruiz. And that was when he got AJ over and out, I think in the 7th round, finished, you know. AJ had to take his first loss of his career. But if KSI, like I said, can get that one punch that can change the whole fight, go for it, have him over and out. He will be finished if he can land that big punch. That's what KSI was trying to do as well, and especially he was throwing some big right hooks in the round 3, but he didn't manage to land them. But like I said before, he still managed to win the round 3 as well. Actually, Joe Elliott made a video on this, and he broke down KSI, and he said, you know, KSI, he had a really good 3rd round, but he missed a lot of punches. Like I said, he threw some big punches in round 3, but he still won the round, you know. I think he just did enough to win that round, you know. If Logan somehow did something special in that round, KSI definitely would have lost the fight for sure. But like I said, if KSI can stick behind his game plan and his tactics, don't do anything stupid, go and win the fight. But personally, I want KSI to win. Who are you guys on? Are you on Team KSI or Team Logan? I will leave a poll up there. Go and vote. But on Logan's side, he really struggled physically last year. He knows himself because he was knackered after round 3, 4. he really struggled physically. He knows mentally he was good, he was fine. He really struggled physically in this fight. And the reason why he really struggled physically is because of the amount of muscle the guy is. He's big, he's tall, he's 6'2". He's got a long reach as well, so you know he doesn't have to worry about there. He's got the reach. His punches are going to be harder as well. KSI said his punches are not that hard. Fair play, you know, because he knows Logan. Like I said before, KSI knows how he boxes now, and he can just go exploit his weaknesses and have him over and out, done and dusted, you know. It could be over for Logan if KSI can land that big punch on him, and that will change the whole bloody fight. I can't wait for this fight, you know. Honestly, I can't wait for it. Logan, on the other hand, he just wants to, I think he'll just want to stick behind his jab. I think he's going to be quicker, it's going to be sharper, it's going to be fitter, so he's going to be coming out quick. He'll obviously want to get the W as well himself. Obviously, he's got Shannon the Cannon Briggs in his corner, so he's going to say, do this, champ, do this, champ. And every single time, I think for 5 rounds, all he's going to say to him is, let's go, champ, let's go, champ. That's all he's going to say, really, because that's his whole bloody quote, or his whole bloody sayings that he's got, let's go, champ. I think, hopefully, let's go, champ will go down as well. Yes, he's one of the greatest heavyweights out there, but is he going to be a good trainer, though? That's the big question. But like I said, KSI, stick behind your jab in the first 2 rounds, keep your distance. I think KSI's going to be even fitter than before as well. He's going to be sharper. KSI's going to be hungry, Logan's going to be hungry, and I think he's just going to stay behind his jab in the first couple of rounds. Don't try anything stupid unless if it's necessary. He is going to exploit his weaknesses. He knows what his weaknesses are. He will go and exploit his weaknesses, go and expose it, really, and hopefully he'll knock out Logan. I hope he really knocks him out as well after what he did in Japan. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this fight. KSI just wants to stick behind his jab, and then in the 3rd round, lift the intensity, throw combinations, throw some big hooks, uppercuts as well. And like I said, if he can land that punch, change the whole fight. If that big punch comes in round 4, go for it in round 5. I don't want to see him coming back, get into him, get under his skin, and then go and finish him. Don't come back. He might get tired himself. He knows he's training really hard for this one as well. So if he can train hard, get in some good high intensity training, he might just edge it, you know, KSI. He could edge it, you know. And I hope someone does get knocked out, and I hope it's that Logan as well. Stick behind your jab, don't do anything stupid, come out in the 3rd round, lift up the intensity in the 4th round, knock him out in round 5. Logan, he's got the reach, he'll want to stick behind his jab, but Logan will want to keep his distance because he knows that KSI, we're literally moving inside of him. He's got to be aware of that as well himself. I think if he can land that big punch and change the whole fight, KSI could get knocked out. So I think if he asks the public, they probably won't know who's going to win this fight. I think at the end of the day, whoever wins this fight will deserve it. You just have to let the best man win. Whoever wins the fight will deserve it at the end of the day. And I think it's just all about who puts more work in. I don't like judging it on the camps because I don't think it's about that. I think it's about you just let the best man win, and you just let the best man walk out of that ring with the belt, be happy, that's it. And then you just want to take it to another level, call someone out, and let's see who KSI or Logan calls out. Whoever wins, deserves it, and you just have to let the best man win at the end of the day. Hope you guys are enjoying another video. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe to my channel if you are new. See you guys in the video the next couple of days, and peace.